the invisible enemy. You wake up. Everything feels normal, but something is already wrong. Not in the world. Inside your mind. There is a silent force shaping your thoughts, your decisions, your identity, and you don't even realize it's there. You think you're in control, but what if you're not? What if the thoughts you call yours aren't really yours at all? Every day, without noticing, you repeat patterns. You react automatically. You follow impulses that feel natural, but were never questioned. This is how control works, not through force, but through invisibility. Carl Jung once suggested that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Most people go their entire lives believing they are choosing their path, when in reality they are being guided by hidden mechanisms within their own mind. Habits, fears, conditioning. Unprocessed emotions. They don't scream, they whisper. And because they whisper and you listen, today we're going to expose 5 silent patterns that are slowly destroying your mind. You do them every day. You think they're harmless, but they are reshaping who you are piece by piece, and once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them. Overthinking is consuming you. You call it thinking, but it's not. It's overthinking. And it's slowly consuming your mind. At first it feels productive. You analyze situations, replay conversations, predict outcomes. You believe you're solving problems, but you're not. You're feeding a loop. Overthinking creates the illusion of control, while actually trapping you in paralysis. Every thought leads to another. Every possibility creates a new fear. What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if I made the wrong choice? And just like that, you stop moving. Your mind becomes a prison where nothing is ever resolved. Carl Jung referred to this as being trapped in the intellect, disconnected from action, disconnected from reality. The more you think and the less you live. Overthinking disconnects you from the present moment. It replaces experience with simulation. You stop living life, you start rehearsing it. And here's the dangerous part. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, so every fear you replay feels real. Every failure you imagine hurts as if it already happened. You become emotionally exhausted without ever taking a single step. That's how overthinking destroys you. Not loudly, but silently. You're addicted to distraction. Silence used to be normal, now it feels unbearable. The moment you're alone, you reach for something. Your phone, music, videos, noise, anything to avoid stillness. But why? Because silence forces you to face yourself. And most people are not ready for that. So instead, they escape. Every scroll, every notification, every short burst of content is not entertainment, it's avoidance. You're training your brain to depend on constant stimulation, and slowly, your ability to focus disappears. Your thoughts become fragmented, your attention weakens, your mind loses depth. Carl Jung believed that what we avoid doesn't disappear. It grows in the shadows, and that's exactly what happens. The more you distract yourself, the stronger your unconscious becomes. Unresolved thoughts, ignored emotions, buried fears, they don't go away, they wait. And when the noise stops, they come back stronger. Distraction isn't harmless. It's a slow escape from your own mind. You seek validation. Without realizing, you say you don't care what others think, but your behavior says otherwise. Every decision, every post, every action. There's a hidden question behind it. Will they approve? Validation feels good. It gives you a sense of identity. But here's the truth, if your identity depends on others, you don't have one. You become adaptable, not authentic. You shape yourself to fit expectations. You filter your thoughts. You silence parts of who you are. And slowly you disappear. Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask you wear to be accepted. But the more you wear the mask, the further you drift from your real self. And the parts you suppress, they don't vanish. They become your shadow. And one day, that shadow demands to be seen. You're ignoring your shadow. There are parts of you don't want to see: anger, jealousy, fear, insecurity. So you hide them, you deny them, you pretend they don't exist. But they do. And they are powerful. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the side of you that you reject. But here's the danger. What you suppress controls you. Unacknowledged anger becomes passive aggression. Ignored fear becomes anxiety. Hidden insecurity becomes self-sabotage. You think you're being a good person, but you're just avoiding the truth. And the shadow grows stronger in darkness, until one day, it takes over. You're not in control. You believed you were in control, but now you see the cracks: overthinking, distraction, validation, the shadow. These aren't random, they are patterns, and they shape your reality. But here's the difference. Now, you see them. And awareness is the first step to control. You can't destroy what you don't recognize, but once you do, everything changes. The question is, will you take control or continue living on autopilot like everyone else? The moment you realize everything. Here's the part most people will ignore, not because it's wrong, but because it's uncomfortable. Now that you've seen these patterns, you have a choice, and that's where things become dangerous. Because awareness doesn't automatically lead to change. Most people become aware and do nothing. They go back to scrolling, back to overthinking, back to the same unconscious patterns. Not because they want to, but because it's easier. Familiar pain feels safer than unknown change, and your mind knows that. It will try to pull you back. It will tell you, just one more scroll. You'll start tomorrow. This isn't that serious. But that voice is exactly what's been controlling you. The moment you notice it, you break the pattern, even for a second. And that second is where control begins. Not in perfection, not in discipline, but in awareness. Because once you truly see your mind, you can no longer pretend you don't. And that's the real paradox. The same mind that traps you is the one that can set you free.